Democrats still on the lam as Governor Greg Abbott ramps up his effort to lasso them back to the state capitol and net the GOP 5 brand new seats for the midterms. One of the blue state govs who's stashing them, big old J.B. Pritzker, waddling his way on the Stephen Colbert's soon-to-be-canceled show. Pritzker wanted to beat his chest about his map monopoly, but it blew up in his face.
I've said everything's on the table.
If you're considering doing a little more redrawing in Illinois, you already have some crazy districts in Illinois. Take a look at this. Look at 17 here. It does that, then it comes up here and it sneaks around there and goes all the way up here and then goes right over there like that. And look at this one, kind of goes whoop up there. It's like the stinger on a scorpion down here. Is this common for all states to do?
Well, we handed it over to a kindergarten class and let them decide.
Okay.
All right, so Jessica, you guys are getting embarrassed. Every time you point your finger, the finger goes right back at you, and you guys are the worst offenders. Why don't you just say how terrible you guys are?
I'm not in the mood, and it's not true. So, yes, the map looks...
You don't jerry around with your districts?
We don't do mid-cycle redistricting.
You just did it in New York.
No, we have never
and then she
gone
got
in the
slapped
middle.
down by a judge.
We have never mid-cycle redistricted.
Just did it in 2024.
At the behest of the president asking for 5 seats like he asked for all of those votes way back in Georgia. And it's interesting you hear this from the right, oh, look at Massachusetts. And I think Trump said he got like 40% of the vote or something there. And they don't have a Republican seat. But the GOP governor was the one who signed off on those lines, and they had a bipartisan commission to do this. Sometimes Republicans just don't win, and sometimes Democrats just don't win. It doesn't mean that everything has to be so wildly unfair. But even Ari Fleischer posted about this, which I appreciated, saying, I want to win 5 more seats, but even politics must have rules. Gerrymandering should be done once every 10 years. Check back in 2032 when this would be appropriate.
Katie, I believe we should just gerrymander the bejesus out of these maps and just destroy Democrat representation where we can.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're in a war now. We're in a war.
Rules, right?
They screwed around, and now they're about to find out.
They wrote the rules. Their rules, right? California, Republicans have 40% of the vote share, and yet they have only 17% of the congressional seats. I think in Massachusetts, it's 35% of statewide vote. They have 0 seats in Massachusetts.
Maryland, they can't win.
Maryland is very similar in terms of those numbers, but of course, congressional districting also comes down to the census, which did not count properly in the last census, and also counts illegal immigrants for representation in Washington, even though they legally cannot vote. So I say that they should redo the census, get an accurate vote, and not count illegal immigrants for accurate representation of American voters in every state throughout the country.
Oh, is that why Democrats like the migrants? Because it helps them reapportion their votes?
It does make you wonder why they're being so hyperbolic about the situation right now. I mean, it is, and also, Maura Healey, the governor of Massachusetts, there are 9 Democrats. They haven't elected a Republican representative in 31 years. But she wants to get in on the action, so she goes out and she says, we might have to take a look at this. What are you looking at? Are you looking to create a Republican district in Massachusetts? Like, that would be absolutely amazing. On Pritzker and Gavin Newsom, they are both clearly running for president. And so Pritzker figures out a way to go to the happy place for Democrats on Colbert's show, and he embarrasses himself by saying that, yeah, we're just going to let a kindergartner figure it out. It's like, okay, so now everybody's in on the joke.
And you did your senior thesis on the pros and cons of gerrymandering.
That is true. That is true. And you can find it online. Go to gutfeldgerrymandering.co.uk//gov/. No, okay. We have to give Colbert credit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have to do that. So that was kind of nice that he did that. I thought that was good. And he tried to squeeze himself out of that tight hole by making a joke. Everything Republicans do is a response to everything Democrats do. The founding of the Republican Party was a response to the Democrat Party. and their obsessional love with slavery. They couldn't let go. The Dems mastered the art of gerrymandering. They also promoted open borders, like you said, to inflate the census count, to get more representation. They wanted D.C. and Puerto Rico to be a state. They wanted to get rid of the Electoral College. They love things and they hate things. They love things and they hate things, just like filibustering. Remember that? Yep. Now I can't remember. Do they love it or hate it now?
They hate it now.
They hate it now. So they
now.
like the rules unless they like the little strategies unless you're using them. And, Jessica brought up the Massachusetts thing, all 9 reps are Dems, but something close to 40% supported Trump. What does that tell you? 43% of New York went to Trump, and 7 of their districts, only 7 are Republican. 3 of Illinois' seats are Republican out of 17, but they went for Trump for 43%. What does that tell you? Lastly, I agree with Jesse. I think the Dems hate gerrymandering because if all the states did it, they would be destroyed. And they cannot call this bluff. They cannot call this bluff. So, and in the war of redistricting, they had to run. Again, they act like a child, do something theatrical in response to what is an adult challenge. I have no sympathy for them. They need bigger balls.
So,
I think they should use AI in the next census.
We need an AI-like government.
New census with good counters.
All right, Jessica. Good try. Up next, start your engines, illegals. President Trump's racing to deport migrants at the Speedway Slammer. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.